Just okay. We should be live, and just gonna wait a couple minutes till people come in. Okay, and I see some viewers already, so we should be live now. Welcome everyone to another BaconDAO live stream. This is the Sunday community call. So usually Sunday at 6 p.m. UTC, we host this call between our head contributors in BaconDAO, myself, and some guests. And today we have a special guest, a gentleman, Bored Ape, or GBA for short, here with us. He is a obviously ape fan, but also overall NFT enthusiast. And welcome, dude. Hope you will get some value out of this call, and we look forward to kind of getting your perspectives on some of the NFT stuff as well, and maybe there's some alpha you want to drop. That would be cool as well. So, what's up, man?
Thanks for inviting me, man. It's a pleasure to be here, and
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll drop some alpha.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's this call is we don't usually have like forced agenda topics to talk about. We roughly know like people that have different areas that we're looking at. So once we get together, have an hour of sharing session, so that all of our listeners can benefit as well, and we can kind of get knowledge off of each other and see be better prepared for next week. So yeah, cool. So as usual, we have our head contributors Viper, Mahi, and Luke from BaconDAO. We also have Lions, which is who is a BaconDAO core team member, not so much as a contributor, but a lot more behind the scenes, doing a lot of the admin stuff and organizing with us today. And yeah, so let's start off with Viper as usual. Viper, what are you looking at for this week? Anything interesting?
So I have two targets this week. It's gonna be a relatively short call for my end because not much has been happening. But the two things that are by far the most potential, I guess, to make money this week for me is tomorrow Klima DAO, and then the 19th Chronos network. I'm very, very bullish on that.
Chronos, what's that?
The crypto.com blockchain.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. How are you planning to play that?
So it's an EVM compatible chain. So it'll probably do what all the other ones do, like I don't know, like KCC for example, where it'll probably be a bunch of meme plays. But I don't know. I'm just very bullish on it. I hear a lot of people talking about it. Everyone's excited. It's only 2 days away, and I'm just kind of trying to be early in all the meme plays if that's ends up being the case, and hopefully it doesn't do a KCC where it kind of dies out. But usually with these newer chains, if you get in early, everyone's aping at the same time, and a lot of money is to be made. So that's definitely something I would keep my eye on besides Klima DAO.
Okay, I'll share screen for that. Let me bring it up here. So Crypto.com has their own chain. Technically, their main chain is built on Cosmos. But they do have this Chronos like layer that's EVM on top of it.
I think Chronos is going to bring back DeFi in the sense of like degen staking. So I'm excited for that.
What do you mean by degen staking?
Like I'm talking those crazy degen APYs on, yield aggregators and farms. I think it's going to bring back the early BSC days.
Okay. Do you know if this is oh, they do have a $100 million fund. That's interesting. So this is most likely going to be permissionless.
I would assume though, Dennis, they're using Crow, right, for the gas token. Because if that's the case, Crow's going to pump hard.
Does this say anything here? Let's see.
I was trying to look for it. It's you don't see that much information.
Chronos integrate chain price feed.
I would imagine they use Crow as their gas token. I mean, that would be smart as hell.
That would be the most. Yeah, that would most likely be the case.
I think then we'll hit $1, Dennis. I think people will stop memeing about it, and we'll finally hit $1.
Okay, yeah. So you can port.
Chronos' base currency will be Crow.
16.
Wow. Yeah, it's on DApp radar. It says Chronos' base currency will be Crow, which is the native token of crypto.org. So I guess Crow would be the gas token.
Yeah, so they're on IBC, EVM compatible, scalable. So they're going to be compatible with like the underlying BSC and like Terra, Cosmos kind of stuff that also uses IBC and bridge to ETH and EVM. Oh, they're built on Ethermint. Okay, so yeah, pretty sound tech.
I think it's gonna be a good play. I think we definitely need to. We might even have to open up a Discord channel.
Yeah. So top thing is like they're not gonna help. I don't know if they will fund any DEX on this chain that's not built by themselves. But
would you say Chronos is, well, not Chronos, but I guess would you say Chronos is a bit, or will be a little bit centralized? It's hard to say.
That's how they tend to do things. So thus far, like they do have you can build stuff already. It was out there, but the only kind of real dApp is like their own DeFi swap, like Crypto.com DeFi swap.
They burnt all those. They burnt like 1 billion Crow, right?
Yeah, I mean the tokenomics now is actually really good. Amazing. There's pretty much no inflation.
I still get my Crow awards from their Crypto.com card. It's awesome.
Yeah, so so they have $100 million fund by Particle B, and then this fund will fund their EVM dApps on their chain. Could be interesting. Okay, what is this trading at now? Let's see.
I think it's 19 cents.
Oh, so it's still the same as like a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah, 19 cents still.
Interesting. So this is in 2 days. Yeah, 18 cents. It's practically done nothing for a year.
Yeah. And you would expect maybe there'd be a huge pump in anticipation, you know, like buy the rumor, sell the news.
What's going on? I mean, around here in like March this year was when they had them. Actually, I think it's not even there. It's here, like February this year, where they did the major burn. Like they changed their tokenomics entirely. So it used to be like 80-90% of their token is like held by the literal company, and they can sell it for profit. But they burnt like all of their shares and vested the rest of them for ecosystem, so that its tokenomics is super good now technically. But like for the past year, it's just like done nothing.
Which is surprising. I mean, they, especially after they burnt all those tokens and announced in mainnet and you know, giving a lot of hype to NFTs and stuff. I just figured that would kind of help. I'm never gonna sell my bag, but and I still think it'll hit $1, but I don't know when, to be honest.
Is it time? I don't. Maybe this is the time to. I mean, literally nobody is talking about it. I have not heard one person aside from you talk about it.
Really? I hear them in the background, like a lot of my inner circle friends. They're getting ready for Chronos Network, but I don't think it's advertised as well as other chains. But the fact that they have $100 million fund is, you know, somewhat bullish. I mean, I think Binance at first only had a $200 million fund or 250 or something.
Yeah, that amount like is at least the use case here. Like they are specifically funding at least 100 projects with $1 million each. It's not even like the liquidity, so it's not really LM for just top players. It's even because literally nobody's building on this right now. So this is very similar to the early stage Binance grants, more like grants than LM. So you don't need that much. Yeah, certainly it would boost their TVL here. Like you just have like one DEX on there that's big, you'll double this TVL already. Their trading volume is kind of low though, 32 million. Like, what is that?
You're flooding my plays now.
I'm just trying to figure out, like,
yeah,
you know, like look at Phantom's trading volume, 900 million, 24 hours. Like, so they need really way better exchanges. They need to be on Binance.
Yeah, that would be huge.
I don't know why they still aren't.
I wonder if there's any beef with them. Oh, are they on KuCoin?
They're on KuCoin. They're on Huobi. It's been around for
KuCoin's
a long
a big
time.
one.
Yeah, they just need Binance. That's maybe Kraken. Binance, Kraken, Coinbase. Yeah.
But I feel like with Coinbase, it won't happen anytime soon. Because they're just
Binance will be first. Coinbase pretty much has never listed anything before Binance. Maybe. Yeah, they need futures market. Like I remember last time when they announced, I was trying to find futures on it, and it was only Huobi, and it's not good. Like Huobi futures is garbage, so they can't get the liquidity volume there.
But I mean, either way, I just wish that they would maybe advertise a little more. Like, hey guys, by the way, don't forget 2 days. By the way, we're using Crow as the gas token. You know, I don't know. I still think it's a good play, and so I'm gonna, try to find some gems for BaconDAO and then just ape. But
they definitely are gems.
Just find the most popular decks.
Probably a marketing thing. Their stuff is super advanced. Like their exchange is great. It's been around for like 2 years now. They have perps on there. It works fine. Like it's I don't know why this is. Yeah, it's weird. I would say this market cap, it's like if you compare ecosystem, this versus like Phantom, for like stuff happening, exchanges, like not a better bet, I don't think. The like Crow itself, if you're betting on the specific catalyst here, it could be good, but it's very short term. Like they don't have a DEX, they don't have a yield aggregator, they don't have an NFT marketplace. They have, let alone the marketing, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I would say if let's get above the all-time highs here, and then I'd be willing to try it here. Be like about 25 cents.
What's the all-time high again?
Around 25 cents.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was like 26 or something.
If we can get over there, and let's see, like let's see some volume on this. Yeah, there's like what the fuck?
Like Crow's definitely long.
Volume has been up a little bit. Yeah, I would say if we clear 25 cents, like in order for this to work, because like the $4 billion market cap is all their retail side, like their app, card, all that. So in order for the chain there to pick up, like this should be way higher, technically speaking, if you have both of those scenarios. Like fundamentally, their product is just like Binance. They have a working exchange, they have like card and all the traditional stuff and apps. Like their app has tens of millions of users, I would say. And then I don't think this would be like expensive, even if it does like just like breaks way above all-time high. But the fact that it's not just shows that they're not capturing that. Probably is mostly marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like wait for strong move above 25 cents. Then could happen. Maybe that's coupled with like their ecosystem fund and their projects building on there. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it's definitely good to. Yeah, it's definitely a good note. I did not know they're launching.
Yeah. But yeah, that's two big things. I mean, Klima, and if you miss Klima, then you have
Yeah, I think Klima is gonna be a major play.
be popping.
Klima is
Yeah.
gonna be great. So let's just go over it really quick. So Klima is like Olympus fork, but for carbon credits instead of what's it called? Just LP and regular. What else do they take? They take Bitcoin, Ethereum now, but that's beyond the point. So they use the same mechanism as Olympus to distribute all of the treasury gains to all the stakers, but instead of any assets, they only take carbon credits, which is like essentially it's able to boost the prices of carbon credits, and thus people are more likely to tokenize carbon credits, and locking it up, it's good for the environment. I'm not an expert in that, but that's at least the goal. So these guys did a LVP sale in last month, and price finished at $323. Let's say like $320, and I think the supply at launch will be 200K, 250, if I weren't mistaken.
Yeah, the liquidity will be like 20 million at start.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah, initial circulating supply will be 250 Klima. So at $300, 320. So that's like around 80 million, right? Initial total diluted valuation. So if you're able to get in at like 320, that's like super good because it's like 80 million. And if you compare it to the rest of the competition, you have like Time, Olympus, not that many more. That's like legit. This one's actually super legit. They have Om Zeus as the one of the advisors, and Archimedes, probably butchering the Greek name, but he's a longtime degen in Om as well. So yeah, it's a super legit project. A lot of partners. So yeah, it really is a valuation game here. If I can get in around, let's say 300, 400, even $500, valuation would be really good. So $500 here would be 1.25, 125 million. Still pretty good, right? In grand scheme of things. So I'd say anything below 1,000. So that would be below 250 million. I'd be willing to take a punt. Yeah, and this is launching tomorrow. So at 8 p.m. UTC tomorrow, launching on Polygon. And the better way to get in this is probably going to be bonding instead of directly buying. So if you are familiar with Ohm and Time, right? This specifically happened with Time as well at the launch. People FOMO'd in at on DEXs, pumping the price up, but because it's an MM, price can rise pretty quickly depending on the liquidity amount. Whereas on the bond, there's always a set discount. And not only that, it's not really related to how much price has moved on the DEX. So, and it's a bit more difficult to actually get into the bonds because you have to buy this carbon credit token. You have to provide liquidity with it. And then you have to go on their DApp to bond it. So this will probably be my way to enter. Which is I'll probably go on Polygon, get some money ready, buy some BCT, which launches also at 8 p.m. And then provide liquidity, put into bonds on KlimaDAO Finance app. And then, yeah, obviously it depends on the price, but yeah, I'd say anything like under $1,000, I'd probably be aping a bit. I think decent chance that we'll get good prices.
And the only thing that worries me is that there's literally no anti-bot measures. But I mean, I guess with the $20 million liquidity, it's I don't see a bot, eating up 80% of supply and dumping on everyone. But you never know.
Yeah, like I think that's only a thing on heavy on BSC.
No,
right? Like,
it's everywhere. But yeah, not as heavy.
Yeah, but like, how are you supposed to? Because like,
can't.
if you take like big project launches, like I've only heard like the ones that like are just like very short-term projects. They really focus on that. Most projects do have huge spike at launch and then like bought it up and then like it dumps and then, but everyone's just used to that.
You can never stop it, but it's like I feel like if you're not botting, you should probably wait for a dip. But Klima is one of the ones where I don't know if there will be a dip, to be honest. And like I said, with $20 million liquidity, I don't think there will be as heavy of a price movement as other low caps that people are used to. But it's one of those things where it's like I know it's going to be botted like crazy, but like I said, I'm not used to 20 million liquidity starting, so I don't want to say wait for the dip and there not be any dip, but I would just be careful.
Plus, like if it gets bought up to $1,000, but like they're not going to be able to buy the bonds.
Yeah.
So
did you see that you can't even bond until like 10 days later or something like that?
I don't no. So they said you cannot bond with stable BCT, but I'm pretty sure you can bond with LP right away. Yeah.
Oh,
I can check this again.
Ooh, that
I know what you were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that impermanent loss would be insane. I don't know if
what do you mean?
Like you would have to LP your Klima, right?
No. So the bonds work like so you buy BCT and you have USDC or you have this pair, either of these pairs, and then you basically sell it to the DApp, and the DApp gives you Klima. So there's no
okay.
The protocol takes all the IL.
By the way, we should probably mention, because everyone keeps asking us, what does the tree symbol mean? It's just it's a symbol.
It's just like I mean it's tree. Like what's so
exactly.
Like,
but I'm telling you, man, I was told that Mark Cuban is even part of this private sales.
Did you see Grimes in
no?
Yeah, Grimes is gonna be in this as well.
Interesting. Now,
yeah, so pretty big. I think this would be a really good play if it doesn't get too hyped. So definitely bond. Like taking into account the bonding part. Yeah, they can't bond the bonds. It's too many steps, and I don't think the bond contract is live anyways. So yeah, it's very difficult for them to do it.
When they say carbon credits, they're talking about carbon like option contract credits.
Right? I have no idea. I'm not an expert.
Yeah, I every time see a lot of times people will just read the one sentence about the like, oh yeah, it's just clearly this, and it's like, yeah, but what is a carbon credit? And I think I understand it now. I believe it's companies, what they'll have to do to offset their pollution is buy a carbon credit bond. And so this is backed by carbon credit bonds, which will not only moon because you have to market buy the carbon credits on blockchain, but companies have to buy them too. So I think it's like we're probably going to screw over companies at this point, and that's why there's possibly a good arbitrage strategy there.
If you actually buy carbon credits in the real world.
Yeah, like and then you can tokenize.
None of us even were talking about before this project.
We didn't even know that was a thing. I know.
I had no idea. No.
That's too much of a Giga Chad play. But so I mean that's kind of cool knowing that. Well, obviously, look at the U.S. government, for example. We do a lot to save the carbon footprint or whatever, and so the fact that companies have to buy carbon credit bonds to offset their pollution, and the fact that we're backed by carbon credit bonds, it's just kind of bullish. Like you're backed by something that is going to continue mooning. It's not backed by a useless dollar. That's
yeah. Just definitely like go on their Twitter, check out this guide, and I would say make sure you understand this step, the bonding. This is most likely the best way to get in. and also understand the valuation, so that you calculate at the time you get in like what the valuation is. That's about it. Otherwise, it's like super legit, like time fork that very, very worth it as long as numbers are good. Okay, let's move on to other stuff so that we don't take too much of everyone's time. Okay, thank you, Viper. Really appreciate that. I think I didn't know about the Chronos chain.
You almost called me Mahi because I took so long.
Yeah, I was looking at Mahi's name because we're gonna have Mahi on next. Yeah, Mahi, what's up? What are you looking at for this week?
So as you all know by now, Polkadot prepared and announced the parachain auctions this week. So I'll cover that briefly, and then I'll also cover the Polkadot gifts, and the Akala and Moonbeam crowd loan plans.
Okay.
So first of all, on Wednesday, Motion 118 passed, designating the first auction to start on November 11th, 2021, with another one following directly after until there's been 5 auctions. So basically what that means is for auctions 1 through 5, they'll be consecutive with a new auction starting every single week.
Yeah.
So after a 1-week break between 5 and 6, the 6th auction will start on December 23rd. And from then on, there will be a full week between the end of one auction and the start of the next, which means it's a 2-week cadence. The first batch of 5 parachains will be onboarded to Polkadot on lease period 6, which I'll talk about in a bit. It begins on approximately December 17th, which rather than being onboarded immediately like Kusama parachains were, these Polkadot parachains will have a couple days, actually a couple weeks, to get onboarded before their 96-week lease starts. Also, do note the lease period is 96 weeks opposed to the 48 weeks on Kusama. This means your Polkadot contributions to successful crowd loans will be locked for twice as long, for almost 2 years. So that's definitely something to note. 2 years is a long time, and we'll be getting to that because we're seeing not a new narrative, but it's a popularizing narrative of liquid crowd loans, because liquid crowd loans are all the more necessary when the lockup period is twice as long. So just a reminder, make sure to unbond your DOT if you're staking. If you guys weren't aware, there is an unbonding period for staking DOT through the Polkadot network itself. It's up to 28 days. So if you start now, you'll have it unbonded before the auction starts, or the crowd loans start, I guess.
Yeah, so I have sorry to jump in, just based on the schedule. I think something I don't know personally either is like, do you think how ready is like State Mine or State Mint? I'm not sure which one. And like, do you think the tokens, let's say top 5 or top 3, will be listed before second batch, so we can like take profit and then move into the next batch?
Oh yeah, that's a good question actually. So as for statement, it's not ready at all. That's why there's about a month still. It's not even an operational parachain on Polkadot yet, which will be completely necessary because Tether is coming to State Mine. All these NFTs are coming to State Mine, or Statement, I mean. So Statement will definitely be something about the onboarding of Statement before November 11th, because it is entirely necessary, and I think they have that planned out.
Okay.
But that's just to assume that it'll be sometime before. It's not super necessary the date to know, because there's no really plays within that before the auction start, but it will be something that happens. And then as for the second question you had about auctions, I already think Akala is gonna win easily the first one, and just historically, if you remember, Karura won the first auction, and they
Yeah.
had their KAR token on like KuCoin. I think it was like around when the third or fourth auction started, and that was the same 1 week cadence. So it goes on a project to project basis. Obviously, Shiden took a long time to get on centralized exchanges, and Moon River took, somewhere in the middle. But I think if you probably participate in the Akala crowd loan,
Yeah.
I think ACA liquidity will be available in a bunch of places because it's a super legit project, and a lot of people are going to be in this crowd loan. So I think it'll get some centralized exchange listings very, very quick. So there
Good
might be an opportunity
point.
there.
Yeah. So okay. Also, that's because of the design, right? So KR was just on the Karura chain directly, right? Did they need state mine or?
No, they did not need state mine for that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and then like Moon River token, I would assume is like a native to their EVM, right? So before that, before they got the slots, they couldn't really issue the token. I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't even try to. Oh, but actually, I just thought of another thing.
Yeah.
With these Polkadot auctions, we just noted the onboarding period is a couple weeks after the
Yeah, it's gonna be December 17th, right?
auctions
Like
have
at least.
won.
Yeah.
So that gives the. I mean, they don't. I think that's just the deadline. By when they have to be onboarded by. I don't completely understand that because they haven't done that. They haven't used an onboarding period like that on Kusama yet. But that means that if the project takes 4 weeks to onboard, then that's less time that they're listing their token in places. So that will interfere with these listings because
Yeah.
Kura was onboarded as a Kusama parachain the day they won their slot.
Okay. Yeah, so they have a deadline till December 17th, but like maybe if let's say Akala comes out and says like, okay, here's our plan, and then like we know from Polkadot that if we win, we're gonna be onboarded within a week, then that would be a really good sign because most likely they will list. But if they don't say anything, we like just have to be conservative and say, okay, maybe until December 17th we will get the token listed.
Yeah.
Then we can change our plan. Okay. Cool.
So-
Yeah. Just wanted to jump in there because it will, I think, interfere with plans a little bit because like if you are eyeing something in the second batch as well, then like if you know for sure you cannot get your money back or initials back in the before December 17th, then like you might have to people might reconsider, okay, like when is it going to list, and then do I save some money for the second batch?
Yeah, I would say don't plan on it for like all projects. I think the Kala will get their token out and exchange listings before the sixth batch.
Yeah.
But that's not realistic, or it's not even something a project will really have to focus on doing because
Yeah.
they can take all the time they need, and just forcing a token out, it's not really beneficial to them. So
Okay. Yeah.
so that's brief. That's what that is in a short. Also, they were upgraded the Polkadot. It's not really important, but they upgraded the Polkadot runtime a couple days ago to lock in the November 11th date. So plan on that.
Okay.
And Akala as well as Moon River or Moonbeam announced that they'll both be going for the first lot, and I'll get to that. But first, I'm going to talk about Polkadot gifts. This is a pretty interesting. I'll give you the link for that.
Gifts. See if I can find this.
Events chat.
Oh, that's I just get a bunch of Etsy links. That's cool.
I put the link in events chat, but
Okay.
So this was, I was actually, this is a really interesting new development. It's called Polkadot Gifts. So first of all, Polkadot acknowledged that Polkadot and Kusama can be difficult to understand for new users because it's kind of confusing. Polkadot.js, I would agree that it's kind of confusing because there's just a lot you can do and a lot of the things you don't even need to know about, but makes it confusing nonetheless. So they designed a unique way to onboard users in a simple process. Now using Polkadot or Kusama gifts, community members can send DOT or KSM to friends and family in a trustless, non-custodial way, and they'll be guided through the process of setting up an account and wallet. Gift recipients do not need to have any previous experience with blockchain technology. I think it's a really, really innovative because like I said, it's hard stuff to understand at first. And so usually what people want to do, if you want to get started with Polkadot, what's your first thought? You'll go to a centralized exchange and you'll do that, and it'll forever sit in the sex or centralized exchange.
Yeah.
And you don't really use your DOT, it just sits there. So this is a much better option. You use the Polkadot, it guides you on how to use the Polkadot.js extension. And so you can, like, some of the benefits are you onboard friends and families who are curious about blockchain technology but haven't made the leap yet.
Yeah.
Share your love of Polkadot and Kusama by sending any amount of DOT or KSM, no minimums, no maximums. This is an interesting one. You can say thank you to someone by gifting them DOT, even if you don't know their address, so that it can be used for inexperienced and experienced users. And you can get friends and family to set up and participate in crowd loans. So I think I might actually use this.
Yeah, I'll use this. This is like last. It's also moving into Christmas, right? Holiday season. Like I wanted to give like Bitcoin, but there's just so difficult that
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin and ETH, like knowing all the ways it could go wrong, I just end up like, okay, here, download this app, I'll teach you, and then like once you have it, I'll send you some ETH. That's usually how I do it.
Exactly. And
yeah.
this is also like, like what they say, the gift that keeps on giving. It's important knowledge. And I partially looked at the walkthrough of how they introduce you to setting up a wallet, and it's really, really simple. Like, you could have like first graders set up a Polkadot.js wallet because it's really in depth and they make it super simple. It's just really very, very good stuff, and it's the perfect time for this before crowd loans start. So yeah.
Not only is it like Christmas, they won't even know crowd loans, but they'll like get some gifts, and then 2 months later they check on it, their gifts have doubled in price. They'll be like,
Exactly.
"Oh, great, crypto's great." And then, yeah, that's good.
And the gifts are super easy to send. You can send it through your Ledger linked Polkadot.js wallet or straight through Polkadot.js. The full walkthrough of that is in the article, which is also in events chat.
Mm-hmm.
So
Awesome.
now to cover some crowd loans. First of all, Acala, because they've done the most. So Acala is an obvious leader in the ecosystem. They announced their liquid crowd loan strategy, which is a derivative that enables crowd loan participants to stay liquid while contributing to the Acala crowd loan. This idea was first done by Bifrost, who brought this functionality to Kusama through their slot auction liquidity protocol months ago. So that's important proof that it works. The thing they're doing with liquid, it's not. I think some people fail to understand that it's not true liquid. There's no way for them to give you true liquid DOT because they don't get your DOT when you participate to the crowd loan. It's locked up inside of the Polkadot blockchain. So it's like partially liquid, and you can grow. It's a synthetic that represents what you did lock up, but you can grow it using the products that Acala developed that is meant to handle this IC dot token.
Yeah.
So now instead of losing the access to the underlying dot liquidity for 2 years, IC dot holders will be able to collateralize for self-service loans in a AUSD stablecoin or trade trustlessly on Akala's AMM style DEX. So you can trade other opportunities, trade the tokens that are listed on the Akala DEX for your with dot that is locked up through this
Yeah.
IC dot token. So you can grow what you already locked up, and in addition, you do get the ACA token. So this is just an added benefit. The announcement of liquid crowd loans was definitely exciting to me. I think Akala is setting the standard very high for all of the parachains, and liquid crowd loans, we'll see just from the first couple batches that liquid crowd loans will do far, far, far better than their traditional counterparts, because in 96 weeks is just a long, long time to lose liquidity, and a lot of people are apprehensive about locking up so much liquidity for that long. So you'll see these liquid crowd loans definitely succeed. So I think either parachains in the future will either be forced to introduce their own liquid crowd loans or see diminished crowd loans as a result of not doing so. And I think
Yeah.
this will be more accessible to more projects through, the Bifrost slot auction liquidity protocol is coming to Polkadot. It worked on Kusama, and it benefited Kintsugi, Calamari, Altair. They all can thank Bifrost for such successful crowd loans because their contributors got the VSKSM derivative, and it made it way more approachable. So Bifrost, I think they'll extend their slot auction liquidity protocol to these other projects, and it'll benefit the entire ecosystem and make more people want to do it. So I'll kind of quickly how this IC dot works is you receive the liquid crowd loan dot it's not IC dot, it's LC dot, my bad. A liquid token for representing your lock dot, and then you can use it in the Akala DeFi projects or DeFi suite. So LC dot lets you access the underlying dot liquidity, so you can swap and use as collateral to mint their stablecoin and more. And then once the lease period is over, 96 weeks later, you can redeem the underlying dot locked in the Akala crowd loan with your IC dot tokens. So basically, you can redeem more than you ever put in the crowd loan because you grew the IC dot.
Wait. Really?
I think so.
Wait, so the dot contributed also has interest?
No. I don't think the dot itself has interest, but
Oh, they just mean like you can put your LC dot in their DeFi stuff and grow that as part of their DeFi protocol.
But the LC dot is good for real dot, so basically you are.
Yeah, I think the LC dot will probably trade below dot price, just because it's basically a dot but in 2 years, so it has a little bit less utility. Yeah, but probably will be close.
VSKSM was pegged pretty darn close to.
Okay, was it like, that's a good point actually. I didn't think. Oh, how different? Like 10%?
I can check.
Yeah, that's a good point. It'll probably be very close.
I think it was within 10%.
Okay,
but also it's not gonna get as much attention as VSKSM didn't get as much attention as LC will. It's also something to think about. But yeah.
So this will be good. Yeah. I think I did look at this a lot already. I think this makes it competitive because and do you have a rough estimate as to how much percentage-wise Akala is going to put into the crowd loans? I was looking at like 11%, or same as Karura.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they could go higher because like on Karura it was 1 year, right? Versus Dot it's 2 years.
Yep.
But assuming if they do 11%, but if you look at like Moonbeam, they could do like up to 15 based on tokenomics. Then
Mm-hmm.
this is a good move because I decided to just jump in. But Moonbeam, I think they had a major announcement, like kind of more detailed announcement yesterday, and they said they don't have a liquid version for their crowd loan. At least right now, they said like it'll be locked for 2 years. That's straight up what they said. So
Yeah.
if that is the case, it would be a good balance, I think, between the two biggest projects. It's like
And-
Akala is, yeah, you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but also the reason is it's hard. It's more difficult for Moonbeam to have a liquid crowd loan, just because of what they do. You know, Akala they do DeFi, so they can create DeFi dApps that are designed for this LC dot token, whereas Moonbeam is just doing smart contracts. So
Okay.
they don't have a DEX that is meant for LC dot or whatever their um, liquid synthetic would be, and they don't also have like
Yeah.
farms for it. So that makes it kind of difficult. So it's mainly for DeFi projects like Bifrost DeFi, Altair DeFi. That's where you saw these synthetics happening.
Okay.
But I think Bifrost, their slot auction liquidity protocol, it brings that functionality to projects that would otherwise not have that functionality. So there'll probably be a big announcement about Bifrost slot auction liquidity protocol on Polkadot soon, but not yet. All I know is they're developing it for Polkadot.
I don't think they're going for a dot parachain. This is what I read.
Yeah.
Like I read on some of their like Kusama plans, and they said they're doing their mainnet instead of Canary Net on Kusama, and they said like we're gonna use up this 1 year on Kusama, and then we'll move on Polkadot and do a snapshot.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
But they did say, and it does say on their website that they're developing. It says, well, the dot slot auction thing. It says coming soon.
Okay. Oh yeah. That I remember. And also like I think Akala might already use their tech because that was one of their partners, right? So
Yeah, maybe
might just be under the hood.
maybe they use Bifrost for their underlying technology because it's a similar model for sure.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Yeah.
tiny bit more about Akala. They have these because it's basically the only crowd loan I can cover. They introduced these quests, which are opportunities for the community to familiarize themselves with Polkadot and the Akala dApp and earn a crowd loan bonus and an NFT in return. Each quest helps educate users, old and new, on how to create crowd loan compatible Web3 wallets and how to become a dot holder. 2 requirements that supporters need to satisfy before contributing to the Akala crowd loan and earn their share of the Akala network. So this kind of, I think the community was restless. So this is something they can do. Akala quests. You just do these super simple quests if you're from, and you earn some more crowd loan benefits and an NFT. More good stuff. A great initiative by Akala to set the bar high for other parachain teams. Finally, to briefly cover the Moonbeam crowd loan, there's not much about it. They didn't announce a really specific crowd loan strategy. They just did a pre-registration. So it is yet to be announced any detail, but Moonbeam did open pre-registration for the crowd loan through the dApp. Individuals can pre-register on the Moonbeam Foundation website with the dot address they intend to use for the crowd loan itself. Users will not need to commit to a crowd loan amount just yet, and the address does not need to have the full dot available. However, there will be a small balance of dot, about 0.5 dot, which will be necessary in order to sign the transaction. Yeah, just reading that. Note you'll need a minimum 1 dot in your address after the transaction. So unlike the Akala waitlist, which was a month ago, it's not just signing up your email. So you have to note that you need a Polkadot.js wallet that's not bonded to a specific network, and you also need a tiny bit of dot because you're actually signing a transaction. Also, here's the bad news. Just like its Canary network, the Moonbeam crowd loan is going to be extremely restrictive. They're not allowing any contributions from the US, Canada, China, and plenty more.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say like like how you can get in, but
Yeah. There might be loopholes. They may or may not ask for KYC, and there may or may not accept accredited investors, but that hasn't been announced yet. I imagine they'll say more about that in the actual crowd loan strategy announcement,
yeah.
which hasn't come out yet. So right now, the only crowd loan strategy we have is Akala. So that's basically it.
Yeah. Cool. I'm so deep into crowd loan research nowadays that it's so far it looks like Akala, Moonbeam, and then Astar will be like definitely top competitors. Probably Astar will probably be competing for a number 2 slot. Moonbeam, Akala, I think it would be very close call. Because looking at how much better Moon River did than Karura, people might be mistaken if like they might dismiss Akala a little bit. But I think it's different because like Karura wasn't a big focus of theirs, it looks like. But Akala will be the main play versus like on Moonbeam. Moon River is already getting a lot of attention. So
yeah, and also I think another reason for the Moon River crowd loan success is a lot of, I think the mover reward was more than maybe anticipated to be, because the
30%, right? That was super high.
Yeah, the crowd loan wasn't as big as like Karura's was. I don't think the raise was as high, and I think that has a lot to do with all the banned countries. And one last,
Okay.
yeah. So for that, basically, like for the people that can contribute, they can do more because there's less people to compete with. And finally, about Astar, because I heard you were talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm also super bullish on Astar, but they're yet to announce pre-registration or a crowd loan strategy, so there's nothing to talk about there, but keep your eyes on that. I'll post something about Astar and Polka Gems because I do love Astar.
Good stuff. Yeah, I think these are all just like no-brainers. Like top 3, just pick your winner, and then I probably do both Akala and Moonbeam, unless their reward percentages are like dramatically different from what we're anticipating, or one races much more than the other. Otherwise, I think it's pretty fair game for top 1 and 2. Yeah, really, really good stuff. So excited. Have so much thought ready. Okay, thank you for the detailed coverage, Mahi. Really appreciate that. And I have this actually spreadsheet. I'll share it with you as well. I've been doing a bit more like forward-looking, kind of looking at their planned tokenomics. And then for Astar, I think it's like 20% they could do for their crowd loan. That was like the total amount they have. Not sure if they'll do all of it, but also could be interesting if they have like super high reward. They might be very competitive as well. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to Luke's picks for the week. Sorry, this call has been so long. There's just market's really good, so there's lots of opportunities.
Yeah,
so
I get
Luke,
you.
what's up? You still there?
Yeah, barely making it, but I woke up. Yeah. So this week I'm watching a few projects, but I think the the big thing I want to touch on is like Bitcoin dominance right now.
Okay.
Like we saw kind of Bitcoin dominance rally these last couple of weeks. It still hasn't made a significant close on the weekly, so I don't want to get shaken out of this range because the last 3 rallies that we had, the one in May, the one in June, and then the one in July, I was shaken out, I think, on 2 or 3 of them.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I subsequently lost out on a ton of gains in alts.
Yeah.
So I'm really watching this. I think this is going to be more of an impulsive wick due to the ETF, futures ETF. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of just holding off, and I'm waiting for. I think we're going to have more of a bearish close tomorrow. We're probably going to like test the all-time high on Bitcoin, is what I am anticipating. So I think we're going to see alts rally here in the coming weeks, especially if we reject is what I mean.
Yeah, I personally like. I know I missed majority of this rotation into Bitcoin. I saw like some, but like very very elite traders that like are actually on the on perp contracts caught this. Like very little people caught this. So at this point I'm not so keen on doing it because like I know on Twitter like who was in this, like Pantoshi, Kaleo, those guys that are like only trade futures and large caps, they were like they caught this right about here. I saw it, I was like, yeah, but I wouldn't know when to rotate back. So because I'm not that reactive, so that's why I didn't really do anything. I knew it was probably a time where I don't know if you follow Crypto Messiah also. Like he was yeah, right around these ranges. He was like, oh yeah, you know what? Like I'm back in Bitcoin because looks like rotation back in Bitcoin for a bit. But yeah,
I mean,
the strategy is there, but not everyone can capture it. And like I know myself personally, like every time I try to do this, when this like goes up and like I get in Bitcoin, I usually miss out on like the re-entry into altcoins. So I just never mind.
Yes, yeah, yeah, like if I would have reacted on this, because I detailed it's sort of a head and shoulders if you look at it. The first head in the beginning of September.
Oh
and
yeah.
Then I think if you look at the 12-hour, you can see it a bit better.
Like down here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, barely a head and shoulders. Yeah, perfect. I detailed that, and I just it's not enough for me to react off of. I kind of, for me to jump in on it, I kind of need pretty good returns personally. So I kind of have held off. And yeah, I think that was for the best for me personally. Like there's been quite a few altcoin pumps that we've caught since then. So I don't want to just jump off because Bitcoin is outperforming ADA and Solana and, Rune right now. Like there's still a lot of strong trending altcoins that I think we can jump in on, and I think looking for those and then waiting for the reversal, I think, is best, in my opinion.
Because like just looking at basically Danny index from here still like doubled, so we were fine. Yeah,
20x per practically.
October 4th, right? I think it was around like 0.6 cents, something like that. So like about tripled spell since.
And then Olympus rallied hard too.
Yeah, yeah.
Dot performed really well. So I think if you're keen enough to pick the the strong performers, then like it's best for you to do that. But yeah, if you kind of don't know which ones to pick, I would say maybe rotate into Bitcoin if we break higher in Bitcoin dominance.
Yeah, if it really cleared us at this point, I don't think that will be too.
I think all the
I don't know.
bullishness is. Yeah, I think. I mean, what else can be more bullish than a Bitcoin ETF, futures ETF? Other than
Yeah,
like
but
spotty, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think throughout this cycle, I think this uptick here is like very similar to September, end of September 2020. Like maybe I can bring that up. Like in a this will be really quite messy, but yeah, just continue and I'll try to show you what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's when Bitcoin it had a nice alt season, and then Bitcoin took a big rally up when it went from like
Yes.
10K to
No, it was
30K.
like a Bitcoin dumped, and then uh, Bitcoin dominance also went up, and then Bitcoin completed the recovery, started rallying, and then Bitcoin dominance was like rallied a little bit, but then like very quickly that was the big run up to the alt season. So like it was kind of the worst time to rotate out of altcoins. In hindsight, I'll try to show you like side by side. BTC.T, this seems to be Bitcoin as well. Oh God, there's too many things there. Okay. Daily. And then on the left, let's have why does this not scale? Come on. These comparison charts are so difficult. Oh God. Okay. So like you see how let me bring this up. Come on. Doesn't like me. Jesus. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. You see how like this big drop, right? Let's just do only one. In what is this?
You're really not getting it.
I'm really not getting this. No, I need to put this on a
But
scale left. Yeah, there we go. Just separate the scale and then
okay.
do this one. Yeah, this is clear. So black here is Bitcoin, and then you see like May 12th Bitcoin crash, and then like subsequently this period like Bitcoin dominance pump, right? So this was like altcoins lost a lot of value because like Bitcoin dropped and then Bitcoin was looking shaky.
Yeah.
And then if you go back to kind of last summer, right around here, I think there was a similar period.
Oh, yeah, I think I know.
Right around here. Yeah, so like
I think September even too, if you blow it out.
yeah, oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So this was like a fresh recovery since like COVID, and then like just nonstop up basically, and then up until around this point, people were just super euphoric, and then like we had a huge drop here. Okay, like one day we dropped like 20%. Not that huge, but it wasn't as volatile before. And then like Bitcoin dominance was like rising in this period, and then it recovered, right? Bitcoin, and then we're kind of at here now. So yeah, Bitcoin dominance could continue going up for a while. Let's say the first double that Bitcoin did after it broke above previous all-time high, which is 20K, right? Now we're also at previous all-time high around 60K. So once Bitcoin, just like throwing numbers out there, once it has done like a 1.5x from previous all-time high, right? 20K rally to 32K. Altcoins continue kind of lagging for a bit and for about like half a month, right? It's not even that far. You see, like it's like 3 weeks, and then like very quickly, like this was huge all season when Bitcoin still continued up, and then like see all this, like this was all altcoin gains in the orange line here, this was coupled with Bitcoin going up and then consolidating, and then altcoins just like major pump. So yeah, there could still be maybe 3 weeks where Bitcoin goes from like breaks above 60K and then quickly rallies to 100K. Yeah, that could happen. And then during that period, you could see like altcoins staying still. People be like, "Oh, what's going on? Like, let's panic out of altcoins." But then you'll be gaining, if you catch all of that move from 60K to 100K, you make 50%, but you really don't know when this major move is going to happen. And this is like, imagine you were in, altcoins, beginning of January. You had 4 months where like altcoins 10x. So like I think that's the main play here. And timeline makes sense. Break of previous all-time high makes sense. Fresh out of a bit of correction makes sense. So it's very similar. I'd say like, yeah, I could chase that, but I don't know when this major alt season is going to start. And I don't want to fade it. I don't want to be on the other side and miss it.
Exactly have my thoughts exactly. So
yeah.
Exactly my thoughts. Like alts are going to run. It's just kind of a matter of when.
And it's really difficult to see. Like it started here, right? Everyone's saying, "Oh, we can be in Bitcoin and we can be like right here. Here's where we rotate into altcoins." But what is the signal? Like what? There's nothing here, so you're not going to be able to catch it. You take a random percentage above 60K and say Bitcoin hits 100K, we're going to do it. Then what if it starts running when Bitcoin hits 80K? I don't think there's anything I see that like gives me confidence to time this. So I'm not going to try to time it. Yeah,
you're shorting a 10x for a potential 50%.
Like 50% short term.
It just doesn't. It doesn't make much sense to me. So I'm glad we're on the same page on that. Building up the echo chamber.
It's okay. It's overall bullish. This money will flow in one way or another. As long as we're patient enough, doesn't matter. All of this like gains, it doesn't matter if this shoots up to like 1 million. That 1 million will flow into altcoins. That has never failed us, so it's fine. If it were like this period, this was weird to hold altcoins. But when it's doing stuff like this, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm in the lagging asset," it's fine. It's just lagging. It'll have its day. So yeah, just have to be patient.
Yeah.
So alt, man, like heavy in dot. Very heavy in dot.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities coming up.
Okay, what else? Anything specific? Anything super alpha?
So two things that I'm watching. One of them more alpha than the other, I think. But one I'm watching is Merit Circle. Merit Circle's a guild that's coming up. So that they're launching with, I think, 100,000 tokens. I don't know off the top of my head, actually. They're either launching with 1 million and then going to 1 billion. Man, I looked this up right before I took the call too, and I'm butchering it. But
are they hosting a sale somewhere?
I couldn't find much about the sale. I think that's still info yet to come out. I think they're probably going to do something through.
I hope it's sushi.
I do. I think it's going to be done on sushi. Just kind of how they've the vocabulary around everything. Like, there's not going to be a whitelist. There's not going to be a few other things. So I think they're going to launch on sushi here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, sushi would be their best bet if they can get in. I know like this project does have pretty good backers. Who's in this? Defiance is in this. Yeah, getting on sushi would really depend on like who their backers are, I would say. But the project design makes sense. Okay, here. Defiance mechanism, Maven 11. Okay. DCG is really good. Spartan's pretty good. YGG is in there. Okay, yeah. So I have no idea who these guys are. I think I've heard of BitScale. So they have a bunch of okay, yeah. If they can do sushi launch, then definitely a good opportunity.
Hasn't Sushi had quite a few like botched launches though? Like YGG
They
was
do
definitely
all kinds of weird stuff. No, they don't really botch their technical launch. That I don't think that has happened once with their weird Sedona thing. That because that one like literally got exploited.
yeah.
But aside from that, like the mechanism is fine. There hasn't been botches in that
I
way.
guess like it's not the best setup for like a fair launch. I guess is the best.
No, I would say it's very fair. I'd say launchpad wise, like it's up there with like LBP. Because so Sushi has like auction, Dutch auction, batch auction, and something else. And then Dutch auction is basically LBP. It's like same thing. It starts at a high price, goes down. Batch auction is like everyone puts money in, and then like they can take unlimited amount, and then like that defines the price. Both are very fair, because both are like you have like a day or 3 days to get in, and then everyone makes their own evaluated decision.
Yeah, I guess what I was trying to say though with the YGG, it was like they didn't have a limit. So it was 4 people got, or like 20 wallets at least got like the entire IDO.
Yeah, if they do have this like IDO way, I think. I think YGG sold out in like 30 seconds. Sushi swap. Finance, maybe. So like YGG, where's even okay, Miso Launchpad. Yeah, if they do the IDO way where it's first come first serve, then that's gonna be difficult. But if they do like either batch or Dutch auction, then it's very fair. We shall see. Yeah, but anyways, like if it's gonna be a IDO, then it would still be an opportunity because technically, like you can still get in if you're lucky, but you have to try your luck. But it doesn't hurt. And if you do get in, the returns are pretty much guaranteed to be really good. If it's a Dutch or batch, then you have pretty much anyone can get in, but like returns might not be as good. But still, it is fair as long as you understand what it is and you don't buy like IDO after a list. Like that's fine, because they're not doing like shady IDO whitelist type of thing. So I would still say it's fair.
So comparing to YGG, they would have YGG's market cap is like 500 million, and that would put Merit Circle's token at $5 if they had the same market cap. I think Merit Circle has like about half the assets that YGG has, so that might be something to note also. Because YGG had 1,200 scholars like months ago, or at least 2 months ago. So Merit Circle probably has half, is what I would assume now.
Let me see token. Let's see if there's anything here. Any number? Oh, here we go. 1 billion token, TGE, vesting schedule, public distribution. What color is that? Okay, so public distribution is all going to be unlocked day 1. Okay, it's here. No vesting, and it looks like it'll be about 70 million tokens, something like that, according to right here. So that will be it really depends on the price because they don't say market cap here. Liquidity bootstrapping. Yeah, they closed the seed round and doesn't say anything about price.
No, I think all those infos like yet to come out. I was kind of
Yeah.
just throwing the price number out there, like just comparing it to YGG. So yeah, I think if we can get it, like if I can get in like around $1.
Yeah, I would say with this much public distribution, they're not going to do a IDO. If you look at YGG tokenomics, they did not have this such a big public sale. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. YGG tokenomics. Auction supply 25 million. And what's total supply for YGG?
It's gotta be like
1 billion? Yeah, 1 billion. So YGG sold 2.5% in their public sale. Mirror Circle is selling 3x that, right? So we can see that very clearly. So definitely is easier to get in, just comparing the two. And they did it. They also did a Dutch auction, right? But pretty much it was people were just willing to buy at this price also because
there was no limits on the wallets. I think that was
right. So
So
hopefully
it's
they
like-
do some sort of limit, yeah. And but if they don't, then it might still sell out in like 10 minutes. Yeah, so let's just keep that in mind. But so far it looks pretty good. It looks like 7.5% for public distribution is quite fair. It's very, very large actually. So yeah, I think there'd be some good public opportunities to get in. Hopefully it's sushi. And if they do sushi, it's a gem, and we can all ape together.
Yeah, ape together strong, right?
Apes together strong. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a bullish narrative. The play to earn, I think, is going to come back. Axie's kind of making a lot of moves to grow their ecosystem, and we see like a lot of these other projects that are going to be launching here early 2022. So, yeah, I think these guilds might be a pretty strong bet throughout the beginning of the year, next year, and the end of this year. So, I'm going to try to get in on this. And then moving on, something that I really want to get in on and be early on. Someone highlighted that Moonswap was going to be one of the first dexes on Shiden Network. And
Really? Okay.
yeah, so they're not going to have the same token. They're launching a new token, Bolt. I'm really sure is their token, and they're rebranding to Bolt Swap. I'm assuming all.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like they're kind of just launching a new token and a new project essentially. Same team behind it, but Moonswap kind of has a pretty innovative team on Moon River. And I think we're going to see a lot of the same innovations on Shiden. So I want to jump on the network early, as early as I can, and be farming Bolt and buying it before pretty much anyone else comes over, and kind of just getting that quick 3x return. Just maybe not. I shouldn't say 3x, but just getting that quick return off people coming into the ecosystem. And just trying to be early on more than anything. I'm not sure if that made sense or if I just reiterated the same thing. But yeah, I think this fetching like a 10. I don't remember how big Moonswap is, so I think Moonswap was like $8 million or 4. So I think Bolt Swap going for half that I think is pretty believable. It's just kind of getting in early enough.
This is so DJ. I have to go into their Telegram and see what so there's some sort of snapshot.
Yeah, it's already
Uh,
if you held
yeah.
a shit ton of
Oh God, 600
if you
members.
held a lot
Oh God. Okay.
if you held a lot of Moon or like were an LP, you probably got involved in the snapshot. But I don't think there's anyone in here that really was. So yeah, I'm kind of just keeping a tabs on this. I'm just trying to get in day one, and then yeah, just try to be in early, or just try to be in early before the early people show up is pretty much my alpha.
What is the play on this, like longer term? Because like with DOT, and there's so much opportunity cost. So now that they launched, so the Moonswap team is obviously good at building dexes. That's good. And they launched Moonswap on Moon River. They're going to launch a Bolt swap on Shiden. What was the snapshot like? Like, what was the use case there? Was it like you get both swap
Just
tokens
kinda,
for Moonswap token?
yeah, I think it was just kind of a incentivize the community. I don't know if they announced the snapshot, but um, yeah, the snapshots, it doesn't have the biggest. They're not going to airdrop too much of the supply. I think it's only like 5%, or it's
Okay.
only a minuscule percent. So I'm kind of just looking to jump on when it goes live and buy up that airdrop essentially. People just trying to sell on, and then take my profits out as soon as I can, because I think there is going to be quite a bit of interest. I think in Shiden. I don't think as much interest as Moon River, but essentially I'm just trying to get that quick. I'm just trying to get my initials out as quick as I can and leave the rest in there to ride and grow with the Shiden ecosystem, which I think should happen in my eyes. I think Shiden has some pretty interesting tech over Moon River. Doesn't have the same community and support around it right now.
I am just still so confused. I know all these projects, I know what they do, but I still don't know where to put my money. Like only thing I know for sure is like DOT and then Chronos. But like when Moonbeam comes out, inevitably in like a couple months, is Moon River gonna go up or down? And these projects on Moon River is gonna move over, stay, new token, up or down? I
Yes.
have no
Well,
idea.
I heard your call on Monday or sometime during the week, and you were saying that
Yeah.
a lot of liquidity is going to go over from Moon River to DOT. I think that might be the short-term narrative. It is definitely the one that I've been seeing,
Yeah.
but I think with time, like we have to think about how long KSM has been live and like Moonbeam has been live, and how little they've brought to the ecosystem thus far. So I think going forward, like on Moonbeam, we're going to see a lot of people come over, and there's going to be a lot more support, and a lot more people are going to be bold. We're going to see kind of a bigger community come in and become like we're going to see a bigger DOT community grow in these next
Yeah.
quarter, right?
Yeah.
And I think with that, we're going to see KSM grow as well. But I think
Yeah.
more importantly, we're going to see a lot of people get antsy and want to test the network as soon as they, before DOT is really live, essentially. And the best way to do that is KSM, Moon River, and Shiden, right? I personally, I don't know too much about how DOT is going to do its governance for dApps, but DOT is like a slower moving ecosystem, right? It's more
Production. Right?
there's more production, and there's just more steps, and kind of like more anyways, so Polkadot is slower moving, and I think we're going to see KSM have a leg up just because it's a faster moving network in terms of governance. So that being said, I think eventually, with time, we're going to see Moon River and Shiden Network blow up, probably towards the end of the year or like 2022 is what I'm thinking. Is kind of how I envision it.
Yeah, by I just can't. I don't have any parallels to draw it to. Like I understand like the narrative where, and I do think they will follow. Like there should be a certain ratio always between Kusama and Dot, and then Moon River, Moonbeam, Shiden, and Astar. I think these, at least Astar and Moonbeam, probably Akala as well. They won't let their sister networks die. They'll probably be like follow the same iteration, like a process of okay, if you're a new project, you want to build. Moonbeam, very clearly, Moonbeam and Moon River both have liquidity mining incentives, but maybe depending on the different types of project, if you are really degen and you want to build a doc coin, they might only allow you on Moon River and not Moonbeam. And once Alpha Dog comes out, you can go on Moonbeam. But
yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So still good. I would just say like at the stage that right now where the main parachains on DOT haven't launched, I don't think there's much in the risk to reward wise that's better than the crowd loans. Unless the crowd loans are very oversubscribed. That's what I think. I think if everything is live and I can buy Moonbeam or Moon River right now, I would have both, like probably 50-50. And then I would probably hunt for gems on Moon River. But I don't know if anything right now would outperform the crowd loans, like adjusted return, because I can't put like 50% of my portfolio into Moonswap. Like,
yeah,
you know, so that's kind of how I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, for me personally, it's just going to be chasing. I'm not going to be putting in a ton of my account into it. I am going to be focusing on the crowd loans. It's just kind of getting a stake in the Shiden ecosystem early, and I think if we kind of just do it, if we can get in early enough, it's almost. I hate to say this, but like there's less risks around it. Is how I feel in terms of reward. So if we wait, 2 more weeks and we let these DOT, auctions run on, and then we jump in on Bolt Swap, then I don't think the risk to reward is there. But if we jump on while it's still, a couple, $700,000 market cap, let's say, I think there's a pretty
what?
Probably I think Moon River is like 4 million market cap. So
no, you mean Moonswap, right?
Moonswap, yeah.
Yeah, Moonswap.
Yes, my bad. I have a problem with mixing up names. My bad. Yeah, so I think Moonswap's going to probably IDO pretty low, and then in the next few weeks, it's probably going to rally up to 5 million or something like that. So it is a pretty degen low cap play, but I do like Shiden. I like the network, and I like Kusama. I think it's really undervalued, and yeah, I think it's going to get a lot of traction, especially with the DOT parachain auctions coming up. I just don't want to ignore it too much.
Same. I'm closely following. I just don't see it. I'm not really doing anything in this market cap range, like so degen. I pretty much start at like 50 to 100 million projects. I think that's the sweet spot right now, risk to reward wise. But if Moonswap grows to be very dominant in Shiden and Moon River and overall dexes, they're a team that builds all kinds of dexes, then, and they're like 100 million, then I bet decent on it, and would assume they can move on like to Polkadot parachains as well. But yeah, definitely good for a degen play. Yeah, I'd say that.
You got to get more degen, Dennis.
It's like it can't like 700,000 market cap. Come on, like
Just throw $500 at it and be like, okay, it's a lottery
what? I'm
ticket.
gonna literally forget. I don't want to lose touch of the information though, so that's why I'm like, yeah, I want to know about it. But maybe that's why it's worth it to throw some money in, and so that it's on my timeline.
I mean, yeah, I'm just throwing a bit of money in as just more of a leverage bet on Shiden, more or less. Like maybe not the biggest.
I don't even
on their
have Shiden. Things don't even have Shiden. So
I mean, I don't really like their tokenomics too much, but like, it's just like I want to be in on these ecosystems while they're still young. I think that's where a lot of gains are to be had, and then picking out the right ones, I think, is the real key. And I think definitely between Shiden and Moon River, it's one of them is going to, stick around for the long term.
this is such headache. I know I'm missing it, but I don't see any.
I threw 10K into a scam, Dennis.
Oh, Saturn Beam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta ape in sometimes, and then
that's why Ape Dot.
out.
I just like ape Dot, and I'll ape Moonbeam, and then I'll ape Akala and Astar, and then I'll look at these.
Yeah, I mean, different strokes for different folks, I guess, right?
Yeah. We'll see. I'm kind of top down. This is why like you were early on Spell, right? And on Near and on AVAX. Like you were on AVAX like 3 months before it was popular.
Yeah, I was on. Yeah, I think I was buying quick. I didn't know it at the time, but I think I was buying quick at like a $500,000 market cap or something dumb. I was buying at like $20 a token.
So we'll just keep following your journey, and then once quick becomes quick. So let's say like 2 months from now, I'll remember that you did this play in Moonswap, and then I'll know that's time. Once you have already, I'll remind you to not sell your bag too early, so you can get the initial 10x on it. But see you in 2 months.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, it is more of a long-term play. Yeah. But we're printing Lambos.
Printing Lambos, yeah, printing Lambos. You still have your spell?
Okay, I'll tell my story on here. I hate to tell it, but
okay.
Yeah, so I was doing I'll drop my chart too. So I was doing TA on Spell, and I was watching it. This was just after the FTX listing.
FTX, yeah.
So I was I was really careful. I was napping, of course, when it got listed. So I missed kind of the initial dump, and I wanted to hold a little bit longer. And then I kind of just held too long. Bitcoin dominance rallied really hard.
Yeah.
If you pull up a chart, I could probably. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Here, I got a CoinGecko chart.
Yeah, it looks even worse if you let me pull up. Let me screen share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So we're going to do this on. Yeah, I couldn't do this on the DEX tools, so we're just going to have to do it on
FTX. Yeah.
Yeah, FTX. But I was looking to take profits. I wanted to try to get above 2 as best as I can, 2 cents.
Yeah.
And I kind of just got greedy and I missed it. And I watched us break below like this level.
Yeah.
And then I watched us break below this level. And I slowly watched this go from being less of an impulsive wick to more of a dump. And I went on to try to sell here at a 0.0113. So it doesn't even show up on this chart because there's more buy interest here than there is on DEX tools. but I would have tried. I was trying to sell here, half my stack, and claim profits here. So I highlighted this in my call on Friday, kind of
Yeah.
just like, take profits and try not to get too greedy, because I think Sunday when we were having the conversation about you selling, and I was like, no, it's continue to go. That was the top signal. And I went on to then try to sell the absolute bottom, and then 5 minutes later it was pretty much up to here, up to back to 0.012
Yeah.
So I guess the moral of the story is when your bags get too big, definitely take profits into safer coins, because I was definitely shaken out of this. It's the only problem that happened was I had clicked too little gas, and then there was too big of a price movement in sushi, so my order reverted at the last second, and I did not sell here down at
Okay, that's good.
0.0113. Yeah. So else I would have sold the absolute bottom. And then last night I went on and took my first profits on Spell.
So you still have like half?
I still have 3/4 of my initial bag.
Yeah, I would say if you are very overexposed position size wise, like it would be good idea. Because looking at like so on this correction after FTX listing, I kind of knew that it was like going to be fine, but still I had way too much because Binance when Binance tweeted, I was like quite sure that last week it was going to be on Binance, so I got back in a lot more, which I knew was like too overexposed. So on this dump from 2 cents to 1.1, probably average like 1.6 ish, I sold a lot, and technically that's like buying above 1.8. So I took some like short-term loss there, but this is from after holding since like 0.3, right? So it's like totally fine. But I would say this lag is going to continue because usually once like dump and then like very clearly now it's been reclaimed, and selling at the retest of previous all-time high is like usually the worst idea. Like this is where you want to buy usually. So but only if like myself personally, I had majority of my position in Spell like last week for the DeFi altcoins. I realized that wasn't really just too overexposed, so I really reduced that to like much lower. So now I'm like very comfortable. So yeah, I would say like if you're super overexposed, I would say take some profits, but I don't think this is the end. I think it's now it's very clear skies. It's gonna be good.
I took enough profits to get me like I think I'm still bullish on Spell from here, and I kind of just don't know what else to put the money into right now that would kind of fetch better returns than Spell. There is like DOT and whatnot, but I've definitely taken enough profits right now to at least make me I took like 8x on my total bag, and then I just sold off a quarter of it. So I took 8x profits on my entire bag. So I'm pretty happy with that alone.
I'd say like just take your screen. I'd say like for me personally also, I don't think my portfolio right now would necessarily outperform like 100% bag in DOT or 100% bag in Spell. But just that on these kind of swings, by having like 7 coins that I all think are really good, which like most of my portfolio is in altcoins wise, like DOT, Spell, Ice, Time. I have a bit of GrowDAO. I have some. I have a lot of Joe and Sin. So like once I have all these, like when they take dumps like individually, it helps me, even though like I don't think it'll outperform individual all in, but it helps overall expected return because I don't panic as much. So I think that's probably one way to look at it. I agree. Like if I looked at the chart right now, like I'd be fine to just go all in. But then I know that okay, if it takes a dump, I'm gonna be very sweaty. So I might as well just split my bag so I rest easy and I can actually end up with the return. That's probably why. I don't think there's higher return though. So yeah, like a bit of diversification is good. Under 10 coins is good. We're not over diversifying. We're just splitting things into couple that we are just like equally convinced in. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was really bullish on Spell for this entire. The narrative, I guess, is what I was bullish on.
Yeah.
And then we kind of seen that die out too a little bit. It has kind of came back up with this this pump, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a double top here. But I guess
I would be surprised. I would say I would be surprised if
I mean,
there's
not,
a double top here.
I shouldn't say like double top like long term or like mid term, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to like 0.16 or like 0.14 maybe. Like that would be a deep retrace. Just kind of there's a lot of people that had a lot of profits, you know, is kind of what I think. So I think maybe we'll see more profit taking, but yeah, ultimately, like I guess the thing I wanted to highlight the most was like one, I was looking at the price a lot. So on Abracadabra, like I went in on there and I looked up. You could see how much staked spell you have, and I just watched that continuously drop. And I pretty much lost like 30% in like one day, pretty much, you know. And it was just kind of super emotional for me. So I guess that was the moral of the story for myself, is just like the emotionality around price. There was the TA too. The TA definitely looks like shit on this graph, but yeah, I was just over emotional. My bag was too big, so
that's luckily what position sizing helps. Yeah, it's not really like you see the reward, but like the numbers also get big, right? That like it's hard to.
Yeah, after a while. Yeah, I mean, I started to do decent on future trades, or I was doing really good on future trades when I was doing like when I had like $2,000 in my account.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got it over to like $10,000, like I was losing like 2 weeks' wage, like 3 weeks' wage, and it was just like fuck, like this is like this is hard. And then like my psychology fucked me up more than anything. So yeah,
I would say this spell chart here looks really good. That's what I would say. Very strong, but I would also say that I would not like have about let's say like average, a little bit above average position sizing in it, but I don't have much more spell than I have like time, Joel, Sin, these stuff. It was so last week, and I recognize that was the problem, not really the price. So I like reduced that. So I'd say as long as the position sizing is right here, I think Spell's gonna continue to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I would say like I think Binance is very clear. Very, very not very clear. Very soon, if it happens.
Yeah, I mean they just announced support on Luna too.
They just had a partnership with Luna and UST, and yeah, so they have a partnership, and they are going to they're on Luna, Abracadabra soon. I'm not sure if it's live already, and the money market will work for UST. So I don't know how specifically that will do. And also, if you look at like one tweet that he did yesterday, Daniel Sesta, he said like to cement the partnership with Luna, right? He did a OTC swap, Luna with Spell with Do Kwon, right? So he's saying that he invested in Luna, Do Kwon invested in Spell. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Right. So like, yeah, like it's pretty clear to me that this is gonna continue running. Also with Banker Joe and Spirit's leverage are both going to be using MIM as the stablecoin, right? So it just makes a lot of sense. So like on Spirit, they will on Phantom there will be soon leverage trading in Abracadabra, powered by Joel as DEX, and then powered by Spirit as DEX, and on AVAX it'll be leverage powered by Joel, similar to how on Ethereum it's powered by, I'm not sure, maybe Suji. So yeah, there's so much happening that it's I hope I can be a bit more of the reassuring voice for you here.
No, yeah, you
The
definitely
worst
were.
is probably over. Yeah, they pretty much got rid of the dumper, right? You know how Alameda like farm and dump,
Yeah.
and like FTX is their way. Binance is not going to be that. Binance never farms and dumps. Like that's their whole strategy. Is like every listing has to be successful. It's kind of their whole impression. So I'm not saying it'll necessarily happen, but I see some hints.
I think
Yeah.
with time it will happen. Like I mean, it's just such a. It's hard to bet against Spell. Let me put it like that. Like there's way more pros to Spell than there are cons. And I like the multi-chain, the sheer innovations kind of around it and how much they build up. The coins that they're adding support for. Like I think we're only going to see Spell grow, but it's. And then if you go to DAI, buy DAI too, it highlights.
Yeah.
Just kind of how undervalued it is compared to MakerDAO. So
yeah, I mean, winners win. Like it's fine to hold stuff if you know it's like good. Yeah, it's fine. Like just make sure your position sizing is good. That sounds like the problem.
Okay, I'm buying more, guys.
Just don't buy more, but like definitely don't sell at reclaim of previous all-time high. That's like technically we haven't been there yet, but like this has been through pretty much the roughest time it could have been. Like FTX listing and people shorting and stuff. Yeah, so fundamentals have dramatically improved. Yeah, like we can have spell therapy group to help each other so that we can reap this reward. But I think it's good.
Yeah, I know there's quite a few people in here that have way bigger bags than they initially expected. So we probably need that group now.
Yeah. I'm okay with my bag right now. I was pretty overexposed last week. I was I quickly like good thing that DOT came out, parachain. So I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm convinced about this. Let me just sell some spell into DOT, so I'm okay. Like take some less stress off. Yeah. But yeah, in the rest of this train, I think it's gonna continue.
Yeah, I hate to drag this thing any longer, but
okay. Well, what else you got?
We even lost GBA too.
He's I don't think he's as degen as us. Like, he's not even in part of degens. How are you supposed to say you're an NFT expert if you're not in part of degens? Like, what the hell are you doing? He's never heard of Danny. Like, I don't understand. Like, we're doing so much here. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, some people.
That's just joking though. Like he's probably like on the other side of NFTs, like actual art. But yeah, we're here flipping stuff.
Yeah, different side of the spectrum.
Yeah,
no pun intended. Yeah, so my other play is something that we've highlighted here recently. I mean, highlighted here a while ago. It's Inverse Finance. Yeah, so Inverse Finance. I know it's somewhere in low cap gems.
Yeah.
They're somewhat they're sort of similar to Spell in the sense that they have a borrowing lending market with their own stablecoin, and then they also have these vaults which leverage Yearn Finance, where you put in stablecoins and then you get altcoins. So instead of earning passive income, earning stablecoins on your stablecoins, you earn altcoins on your stablecoins locked in the vault. I was going to say try to pick this up like under $1,000 if you can, but I think it's since this call, I think it's rallied like another 20% or so.
What the?
It's already
This
yeah.
this wick. Oh, I love that.
Oh, do you
Who's
have the chart holder?
okay? Some VC has been buying. Must be that this is. Maybe we can answer in this. Yeah, someone probably bought around here. Some VC.
Yeah, I mean, I think
$700 range.
they were really undervalued too. I think they were like $8 million around there. There was like the big narrative shift too. So like Inverse kind of got a lot of publicity around like the Danny stuff because it is
Okay.
similar, and we've kind of seen a pop since then. I'm not negating the VC stuff, but we've seen kind of a bullish narrative come out around Inverse that we did not see like a week ago at all. Because this is something that some of us have held from like 1,200 to like 1,500. Like, I mean, not 1,500, from 1,200 to 150. So, yeah, the narrative is definitely shift on this, and I think I want to try to ride the trend. I'm kind of just waiting for a good time to jump in and buy.
I'm trying to understand the project, what they do. Okay, so they have a DCA thing.
Yeah, so you lock up your stable coins, and then you earn passive yield on that through Yearn Finance, and
you get it in ETH or
and you
BTC
get
or
it-
Wi-Fi.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Whatever the farm. Okay, that's cool. This reminds me of Rari. It's pretty much copy paste of the interface. You can supply a bunch of assets. You can borrow a bunch of assets.
This is kind of a newer thing that they've set out. Like I kind of quit covering them when they started to branch out in their borrowing and lending.
This is weird. I mean, not weird.
Just say it. It's weird.
I don't know if this is different. What is there something else here? Like this is interesting. I think this should be their flagship product, but it's more about UI play on this. Like you can do this yourself. A UX play. This is just shittier Rari. Right? Like
yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess if you put it like that, it's like a shittier spell too. I guess like the highlight around it is like it's a narrative that's definitely popped off.
yeah, it fits into the narrative.
Yeah, it fits into the narrative.
Like anyone can like lend and borrow any sort of yield generating asset by itself, like stake sushi and stake the ETH and LP stuff and mint stablecoin and put into more of that yield generating asset and stuff. So this is like really popularized by Ohm as well. I think most of the volume on Rari is Ohm anyways. And now Spell, it's like a Spell itself and time and Ohm. So because those things have such high APY, but they don't support that. They don't have Ohm or time or those rebates tokens yet. So, and they said so here. They're gonna have it, at least, but it's not there.
So something else that they're doing now too is they're starting to do the like liquidity as a service. So they've started to reach out to other borrowing and lending protocols, like on different chains, and they're now trying to get them to use their stablecoin, DOLA, and then like
Okay.
trying to bring liquidity onto their, just different chains. I guess is what they're really trying to do right now. So
okay. So
the dev is looking for like Moon River borrowing and lending, so that they could hopefully supply liquidity to it. So it is kind of fitting in a few narratives. I don't think it really knows what it wants to be.
yeah, that's clear.
I guess is kind of a good.
It wants
way
to
to
be
put
DeFi 2.0 because it
yes,
very clearly says here next wave of DeFi applications. So they recognize that new wave of decentralized banking and finance. Might as well say DeFi 2.0. But
Yeah.
it is very clear that they don't know which part of DeFi 2.0 they want to be, like the narrative even. They are trying to be like multi-asset, multi-chain, but I would say they're not doing that too well, at least in the current product. I think this vault thing could be interesting as like a standalone app, to let you deposit stablecoin, earn yield in another good asset, and then like expand on that experience. That would be cool, because there's this, I'm not sure if you know, but like DeFi 2.0 is like, aside from multi-chain, multi-collateral stuff, there's also this batch of like UX focused apps and projects. Like Ribbon, technically speaking, is a UX app. GrowDAO, and then Synapse also does it pretty well, but it's also the core product design is also very innovative. They could expand this out to say, okay, like you deposit USDC, most popular one, and then in there, your USDC earns this. So like that's their whole app. That's kind of what GrowDAO does. If they can position themselves that way, they can probably get to convince some bigger investors to back it. But if they're going purely, really heavily for this narrative of like very powerful multi-chain DeFi 2.0, I don't know if they're gonna be beating Rari here. Like it's gonna be pretty difficult.
Yeah, I don't think their vaults were ever too popular though. I think that's why they branched out with this. Because like I mean,
yeah, so they're probably a developer team, not a UX team. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the it's funny that you even said they're trying to be like a DeFi 2.0, because their dev is on Twitter a lot more now and shit posting and trying to replicate the Danny.
Okay. They have to find something that sticks. Ideally, something different, if anything, is okay. Otherwise, they're just like a shittier spell, shittier RGT. Yeah, I don't see anything different. If there is something, that would be cool. Like this stabilizer is weird. I don't know. This could be something. There's literally like no liquidity at all in this part of their product. It's weird. Yeah, it's just so weird. Like maybe if their dev is super good, like this direction, they might figure something out. That's kind of how RGT Rari figured themselves out anyways. They had like tranches and all that, like really bad stuff. Really, nobody wants. They might figure something out, but it cannot be copied. So definitely good to keep watching, but I don't think I think until they figure something good out, I'm not convinced. Is there anything special here? What? Yeah, what? Update. This was pretty old. I don't know. Narrative is there, but might as well just get more spell or synapse or Joel Spirit. You know, like there's enough picks that I'm probably not gonna get this. Especially not after this. Like
What's wrong with it's healthy?
Yeah, no, dude, like yeah, no. It's yeah, it's like casual 8x in this week. Yeah, it's pretty healthy, dude.
Oh yeah,
Someone's pumping it for sure. Someone's definitely pumping it.
Yeah.
It had 1 million volume, now it has 30 million. Yeah. If this were the kind of chart and volume chart for a product like Synapse where nobody's doing and TVL has also gone up, I do it, but no, this isn't like that. Yeah. I would pass.
Yeah, shit, I should.
I would get this. I would get this. If you want DeFi 2.0, I will get some Ribbon as well.
Ribbon is what exactly again? It's like options.
Yeah, so you can't. So it's not a product innovation. It's a UX innovation. Like they've either really hammered this home with me. So if you look at like their DApp, they don't do. They're not the underlying like underwriter for the options. Like they use open options like that, another protocol. But effectively, they are able to translate the option gains and the parameters and the risk into like where the option strategy they use is like not too risky that they can, and it's consistent enough so that they can say, yeah, here's our strategy, but you don't need to see that. You just see like basically you put stablecoin in and you get 55% yield technically, and that's pretty accurate. So it's like this abstraction of complicated DeFi products that otherwise won't have much TVL, but do have good gains into a product like this where stablecoin in, yield out, and yield percentage, how much is locked up. This is also part of a big part of DeFi 2.0 actually. Yeah, so right now they do this for options, but like you can do these kind of technically vaults for other types of products. One other way they could do it that would fit this is like UniV3. Like there's a lot of yield on UniV3, but it needs to be abstracted away, so you don't need to click and click. It needs to be abstracted in a way that it's you put this asset in, you get this yield, it matures when. That's kind of DeFi 2.0. So Ribbon does this, Grow does this, and I'm not sure who else does this, but like this is like basically consumer facing. Like you have a high yield thing, you have a low yield thing, safer thing. That's it. You don't need to know the underlying stuff. It's options, it's like farming, it's liquidity. It doesn't matter what it is. It would be good. Maybe that's this structured products.
Grow is this like leverage farming, right?
I think so.
So just on stable coins.
I think, let's see, capital exposure. Yeah, so they have Curve. Okay, so they have like some USDN, some YUSD, Cream, Convex USD. in exposure, stable coins, and then basically so like instead of, let's say, like I'm always hunting the new stuff of like, I have stable coins, do I put it in Yearn or Convex or Curve directly or like through Spell or whatever it does this for you. And then like you can pick like a strategy where this one will probably be more like your collateral is mostly in less wrapped versions and less liquidity versions and only like USDC, DAI, USDT. This one is probably more leverage. So like in Curve and then through Convex and then through Abra again, in Curve and then like USD and whatever. Right. So like a little bit higher APY, but a little bit higher risk. So like leveraged. So pretty accurate description. So that's what this would show us. I mean, more types of this is DeFi 2.0. This is abstracting away stablecoin farming. This is abstracting away DeFi options. There's only, what is this? There's like 4 products in here. Okay, what is this?
Is this like an index?
I have no idea what this is. I've never even heard of this.
Oh, I meant like, is that like a category on CoinGecko?
Yeah, this is called structured products. Oh, I would say there's this other one called tranches. I don't know if you heard of it. This one is, I would say, also fit into this narrative, this batch. So this is on BSC. You can think of this like a, and I have this as well, actually. You can think of this as leveraged farm / exposure on Bitcoin. Like a 1.5x one long on Bitcoin kind of. Sort of like the Binance locked savings, but for Bitcoin in a DeFi way. And this is, their design is entirely focused on Bitcoin. I would say maybe Badger also fits into this. Badger and this project are very similar, where you deposit Bitcoin. It has like a period of like maturity, and then you're not going to lose your principal, but you have like a bit higher return, either in APY or leverage exposure. Like Badger kind of does that. Because underlying it is what? It's like wrapped Bitcoin, REN BTC. You have to take that, you provide liquidity into like Convex or Yearn, and then like you take those tokens, maybe you go through Try Crypto, and then you hedge it somewhere else, and then you put a Try Crypto into Convex, you short ETH somewhere, you get like a pure Bitcoin exposure, and you calculate all the yield. So that's what this does, pretty much. I give you like yield farming feature, BTC tracking token. One click. This is DeFi 2.0. And Multicoin and Three Arrows like these type of projects a lot. I think this is I think very little people understand this still.
The user experience aspect, or kind of the what's
this type of what this type of product is, the narrative, the DeFi 2.0 part.
Yeah, I see. I definitely think the user experience, just in crypto in general, is going to be a bullish narrative.
It's abstraction. It's like you have an asset that you want to denominate in Bitcoin, Ethereum, USD. You go to a product, that product takes your money and then gives you, okay, like until how long can you take this out and what the expected yield will be. That's all you worry about. There's no risk. It's pretty much assumed to be zero risk for losing of your principal. How they do it doesn't matter, but they have to guarantee your principal. They have to have a rough estimate for the yield and how long it can be matured. And underlying, they like give you a view that you can see, okay, like we are leverage farming, or we are liquidity provision on UniV3, or we are options, or whatever it is. This is a big part in DeFi 2.0. A lot of people are not seeing it. I think very little people see it. Like they're also trying to say like, okay, look, these projects came out later, and they have these backers and they have big TVL, and they're comparing stuff like Ribbon to like Alpha Finance or like base DeFi 1.0. Like that's a wrong comparison. You can't do that. It's different type of product. Like you're comparing like a Robinhood savings account to NASDAQ exchange. Like that's, it's like different crowd. So yeah, that's what I think is, yeah, this is interesting. What the fuck is this? Like, it's structured products. I think this is a good category that they have here. Structured products. They need more stuff in this product list though. But I'd say tranches, Ribbon, BaconDAO, definitely in that list.
And just to reiterate, it's like improved user experience and kind of just trying to bring it to the masses the best as possible. Yeah.
Like all together. Yeah. Like these guys don't have native protocols. They sit on top of Aave compound, convex, curve, yearn, whatever, all these complicated shit. And they make it like one entry, one vault, one yield here. Like that's much needed. And that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I found where I want to put my spell gains now, I think.
I need a couple weeks of self-convincing before like but I can definitely see this as like taken off very soon. I have a lot of tranches actually. I'll probably I have Grow right now. I don't have Ribbon yet. I'm ranting on that, yeah, but it makes sense. I don't think you'll get this anywhere else. Like I don't think anyone sees this yet. Dave Ether sees this. Some people are seeing individual projects. Like some people are comparing. There's this guy on Twitter who is a big AVAX degen, and he developed some sort of protocol. And he's seeing like Badger as like a leverage play on Bitcoin. So he's big in Badger right now when Bitcoin is up a lot. But what I think he is really seeing is DeFi 2.0. Yeah. Like Badger could see another big run up, I would say. Badger definitely fits that list. Maybe like even like Vesper, stuff like that. Like Vesper technically is that. Like Vesper is guaranteed principal, right? It aggregates yield, it gives you a percentage. And it tells you like, it tells you, okay, you can deposit USDT, wrap Bitcoin, link ETH, whatever, right? Whatever suits your boat, like, you're a fan of, and it gives you a yield. It's just that the underlying thing they do is probably like Aave. So it's very low yield, so not very attractive. But they definitely, they see it. This is a type of product that's coming up next. They just need to be a bit more degen here with their strategies.
Yeah. So like one thing that I've seen pop up recently is like through the leverage, like the how do I want to phrase this? The leverage trading, like not leverage trading, but leveraged yield farming on stablecoins, and then continuously like leveraging them, so or looping them. And people have been saying that like if you and people kind of started to plan out these ways that you could leverage. I think it's mainly through like ice and grow right now. I think is or something like that. People are talking about ways to kind of leverage their yield positions, so they can like constantly yield leverage their stablecoin positions to like close to 100% APY.
That's a really good idea. Yeah. No, that's a really good idea. Does ICE have plans to do this? That would be really good.
I don't know yet. This is someone that I saw tweet this out, but I've kind of seen this. A couple more people kind of pick up on the same leverage, like just absolute degen leverage on the stable coins.
Yeah, for that. Okay, so like this grow is doing like what's it called? Like the Abra way of leverage yield farming. Like you borrow Abra and then like you
just loop it,
right? I don't know if that's different from Alpha Finance. No, that is different from Alpha Finance. Alpha Finance is different because you're doing like you could technically do one stablecoin in, and then it borrows the other stablecoins, and in like kind of one transaction. And then on the other hand, you have the people that stake the stablecoins to provide this lending borrowing market. So on Abra's way is like MIM or probably Convex 3 token, I'm guessing. I'm not too sure. You can leverage like the stablecoin farm, but you have to have this 3 curve exposure anyways. So you cannot just do only exposure in USDC, I don't think, with leverage on Abra, but you can do it on Alpha Finance. So I think, but yeah, these two also combine. Like I used to farm the BaconDAO treasury, right, in stablecoin farms in Alpha, and pretty much every week I have to check in, I have to harvest, and then I check like usually once I harvest, I put the harvest back into the farm, and then the collateral would like go up, right? So my risk goes down, so I can take on a little bit more risk. That process is manual, and nobody does that right now. Compounded. That could be a vault, yes. Grow might be doing this, but it seems they are pretty conservative here with only this yield, unless they're taking huge fee. Yeah, if ICE can do that, I think that's one area. There could be a couple more like stablecoin, auto farming, auto compounding, abstracted away vaults. And I think another big area is UniV3 vaults. Nobody is doing properly right now.
Isn't that what Visor does? I'm honestly really naive to it.
So I think UniV3 is like weird because the core layer farm is there technically just through UniV3 because you don't need to deposit an LP anywhere. It's purely from fees. But I don't think anybody uses Visor. I don't even think it works, to be honest. because there is Visor, there's like Charm Fi, and I think they just like manually handle it for you. I think that's what they do. And like if I go into here, it has to be like, it's all about user experience. It has to be able to show this, that like anyone comes in from retail, they see, okay, I have USDC. What's the yield on this? And they just assume there's no risk. They assume that with no risk here, they assume with no risk on Ribbon, assume with no risk here on tranches. I'm here like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't understand this. Like, you know, like this is not DeFi 2.0. This is 1.0.
You get it? It's easy.
I don't even get it. Like, I've been on this side before. I've tried Visor, I've tried Charm. I don't even know what the yield is. I don't know what I'm depositing. Like, I don't understand this. So I have to go into their docs. Like, what do I provide, and what's the yield, and what's the TVL? You know, so this is not DeFi 2.0. There's a couple projects that's coming up that are trying to do this. There's one called Tea House that's trying to do this for UniV3. But I don't know if they will be 1.0 user experience or 2.0 user experience. In my opinion, like if you're doing stuff on top of UniV3 already, it needs to be the UX that you're focusing on, not yield optimization. There will be a couple winners in the yield optimization fund, just like Convex and Yearn, but we don't need a competitor to Convex or Yearn. Like, there's nothing there. They reached the limit. You can get like a 0.5% above them, but nobody cares anymore. So
yeah, it's just kind of a burden to move your liquidity at that point.
It's a burden. It's like, and you're not gonna beat them. Like, you're not gonna beat Andre Cronje on his smart contract, you know, optimization of like a farm. Like, he's been doing this for a year. Like, you're not gonna beat him in the math there. So, and you're not gonna beat Curve in the stablecoin efficiency. So both that and those algorithms are optimized. Now it's about UX. Yeah, I would say like Popsicle would probably be the best math algorithms for UniV3 numbers. Like, there might be one more competitor to Popsicle that gives you the best, like, let's say stablecoin percentage, like strategy wise, but the rest of the place should not be trying to improve that percentage. It should be trying to improve the experience. Yeah, sorry, I cut off again. In the stream has been 2 hours, but like, this is just I'm trying to get myself positioned here.
Yeah, no, same.
You're not like wishing that I go fuck myself here, right? Are you?
No,
am I still making sense, or?
If you're asking me, yeah, I'm still kind of not wrapping my head around it, but kind of still talking my way through it and kind of building up my logic around it.
Yeah, like the strategies are pretty saturated now. Like, if you're telling me that you can beat Convex, I would not invest. If you're telling me you can beat, like, you can innovate, then you really have to show like, okay, there might be new DeFi 1.0 type of ways where you can find yield. I think UniV3, that's about it. There's no base layer products there anymore that's like higher yield, more optimized math-wise. And yeah, it's multi-chain, but that's getting handled by stuff like aggregators right now, right? Abra is doing that, and like, you know, Curve is multi-chain. Curve is going to be the stable coin base layer. If you have USDC, they will be the core generation of yield there. And then there will be multi-chain like optimizers, which will be Yearn and Convex. And then there will be multi-chain aggregators that use the optimized vault tokens like Abra. But even that's pretty saturated, right? You could take that multi-chain to more chains, but you don't have better math than them. So on top of that, it's the user experience. We're kind of at that stage now. Those are coming up. Yeah, maybe options, maybe synthetic assets are something there. Maybe like, like more derivative products that can be abstracted away, but the lending, borrowing, farming, all this, like nobody is gonna be base layer unicorns anymore.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see like innovations on top of the other protocols. So protocols using other protocols, like Alchemix is the best example, to create kind of
Alchemix is a weird spot, right? Because Alchemix is it was cool, but it's not as like groundbreaking, because they aren't giving better yield than like what they sit on top of, which I don't know who they sit on top of, but
Yearn, I think.
I mean at least the core like lending, borrowing like market, I don't know who they fork it from, but they are a small spin. I would say their vision was too small. They're probably, knowing their team, they're probably working on something else, or like
vision too small. How though? Like in their coins that they support, or like in the innovation itself of like.
I think the innovation itself, because I don't think this fits as a core like DeFi 1.0 product. I think like, because no retail will use this, can use this. Like I understand this, but like retailers are not going to come in here and like do like LUSD. They're not going to do it. I would say, so this is like the core yield, right? Like it's integrated elsewhere and everything, but they're not as big as like a convex 3 curve. I think the APR and stuff, it's just not that high in comparison. That's it's getting beat by convex in the 3 curve perspective, and then like I don't know, it's weird.
In the 3 curve perspective though, like you're using your liquid, like you might not be earning as much, but you're borrowing against your assets, and then everything that you deposit is what you're earning yield on. So it's not like you take a 50% loan and then you're just earning yield on your 50%. So I think it does have a little bit of a leg up there, but I think the biggest thing that I would want to see coming like next would be like out of Alchemix would be, remember like we were just talking about the leveraged stablecoin. That would be amazing for like their stablecoin pools. You should probably go to their vaults.
Yeah, right? I don't know. I think this was a good step, but they kind of got disrupted by Abra plus Convex, because that's kind of the same thing now, right? Like, because Abra takes yield tokens, so even if you deposit like a Convex 3 curve into Abra, you mint more meme, and then you get more Convex 3 curve. Like technically that collateral is growing in value. So yeah, you can still get liquidated, but it's an extra step where you have to rebalance a little bit. Alchemix just handles that rebalancing a little bit for you, right? Where you don't get liquidated. But that's about it. I don't think the core product here is too innovative. I think if they really want to take this approach and say, oh, we are the only yield place where you can get like super high yield and not get liquidated, then the narrative of like a loan that pays off itself is not a base layer product. That's a UX layer product, right? If you think of it, like, because at the base layer, every protocol can be used that way, as long as your now collateral is yield generating. It doesn't matter anymore. Like now that with COMEX tokens being used instead of just 3Curve or USDC.
Yeah.
So like, I think the next step for them would be like reinvent the whole website so that like when you go on app.alchemix.fi, it's not this. It's like non-liquidatable loan, a loan that pays itself, and then you go into start or app, and then it's not this. It's like deposit stablecoin here, USDC, and then like it will pay itself off in how long, right? And then like you can get this much now, right? That's a great product. That's kind of what they're trying to offer, but none of this like complicated shit. Like nobody wants this. Like you can say, okay, you can do this and say one vault here, just like GrowDAO here, right? On the left here, it's USDC vault. On the right here is ETH vault. You click into it, and then what you have is like TVL, and then one button says deposit today, and then explainer says deposit. You type in 1 million, you deposit that, and then it shows you today you get 900K back, and then in 1 year your loan will be paid off. That's all they need to offer. That's all they're trying to do anyways. Like, stop with this, because clearly they're not winning the math war here, you know?
Yeah, no, I completely feel you.
Yeah,
and especially when you highlighted the abracadabra and just the
like, why would I do LUSD if I have COMEX USD that's 3x the TVL and 3x the yield? Like, you know, you're not winning the math here. Like, unless you can give me that, like, you're not gonna have the TVL. So,
and then you can't really short on these markets too, because you get if you put in ETH, for example, you get AL ETH, and then you have to pay back your AL ETH. Or no, I guess you. Never mind. Never mind. That was dumb.
I think that all ETH. I think the ETH part is great. I think COMEX, because COMEX is and Yearn and all of that is centered around the 3 pool, and there's no single ETH vault out there right now, aside from like Little and staked ETH. That part is still very heavily dominated by like ETH 2.0 tokenized staking positions, and that yield is very low. It's like 7%. So if they can really do that and present this ETH, I think this is pretty good. Right, this one, like 15%. If you can present that and say like in this fashion, where you go into here as an interface and it says like deposit like a risk-free yield on your ETH, and you show me 14%, and especially when you play that like, you know, like narrative and say deposit in here literally risk-free, because it doesn't matter what happens to ETH price, you'll get that back in a year because it pays itself off. Like that's what people would use, because right now people are using Little, getting 7%. That's like same as Binance. Binance has higher rates than that. So I don't know, if I were talking to Alchemix team, actually, we're talking to Scooby, right? In the other,
yeah, I was about to say.
We should see what else they're doing. I'd use that, and
Yeah, I told him he didn't have to drop too much alpha, but we can maybe see if he's willing to, drop a little bit on the call. Because
I mean,
think
like
the
if he's
user,
willing to go that direction, I think it's she, right? Yeah, if they're willing to go this direction, like I bet. But if they keep doing it this way, no. It's like it's gonna get left behind.
yeah,
Yeah, that's just how I would do it. It's a great product. They found a really good niche, but it's a user experience improvement to pay back the loan. You're taking away some of the extra friction there, but you are not improving that yield percentage unless you can tokenize that as well, right? If you can tokenize the yield paying part somehow and make that two sides and say like, okay, someone can take on the non-risky part, others can take on the higher risky part, and you abstract all of that away into your these pools, then you can compete with Convex, but they haven't done that. So it's a user experience improvement. So they can't try to be a base layer. Okay, I think this is like getting super irrelevant, but okay, let's just stop there.
There's 6 people in the chat now.
6 people in the chat. I'm really trying to. Yeah. I hope I can. We can talk with them directly. Like that would I think that would be a great great direction. They're a great team, right? They came up with this like great idea, and they executed super well, and like even went through the hack with Alchemix. They were able to get through that, and they're still building. Like if they do this, I'd say they can bring on like super top investors. I would say, yeah. They have a lot of TVL though. 1.1 billion. What the fuck? What? Okay, their TVL is high, but
yeah, I think that might be inflated somehow. I think I might have read somewhere that is a little inflated.
That's
okay.
Anyways, we should cut this here.
You think?
my brain's getting fried here. But yeah, like DeFi 2.0, Vesper and Alchemix, they kind of came out around the same time. They kind of see the user experience improvement both in different perspectives. Vesper was like one of the first to offer this kind of vault feature, like type of asset you want, yield. Alchemix was like, okay, we pay it back for you. These were kind of ahead of its time. It launched at a weird time, but they really kickstarted these kind of projects where it's like vault. Here's the asset. Here's the yield. Here's the underlying strategy if you want to know about it, but most people don't. These are 2.0 projects. ICE as well. Maybe. I don't know. ICE is weird also. But these three definitely. And then I'm bullish on these. Yeah.
You're not screen sharing, by the way. Just
I'm not. Fuck. No tranches, Ribbon, and GrowDAO. Bullish. Yeah. These are DeFi 2.0. Immerse Finance is not. Like just looking at it right now, they're not. What the fuck is it already doing? People are missing the point here.
All right, DeFi 2.0 could just be dev shit posting a lot too.
It's right now. It's a lot of that shit posting. Yeah.
Well, that's it for me.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna buy some Ribbon. Since I have the other two already, like why not? I gotta buy some Ribbon. Ribbon's probably pumping now that we say it. It's only 100 million. Yeah, that's good. I'll probably shift some way this week. Klima, Tempo launching pretty soon. I have GrowDAO, I have tranches. I'll get some Ribbon. I'm well set in DeFi 2.0. I have the multi-chain like leaders. I have the UX leaders. We're good. We're golden. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna pick up some Grow and Yeah, I
Growth
just don't want
tokenomics is fucked though. Growth tokenomics is really fucked up. There's a total supply for first year is 5 million, but their max supply is 100 million. So like they have a shit ton of VCs that will be unlocked after 1 year. Yeah, it's really fucked up. But at least for the first year, there's no inflation. So
get in, get out.
it's really messed up. But at least they're still locked.
Yeah, we have a little bit of time, anyways.
Yeah, a little bit of time. I think they invested in like April, May or something. So a couple months, a few 5 months from now, it's gonna be pretty heavy dumping unlocks.
Yeah, look at their fully
All right.
diluted valuation compared to their market cap.
Yeah, look at this. This is like this is.
It's not even 20x away. It's like, what is that? It's 30x.
33 FTV to TVL ratio. Yeah, it's really messy. It's really messy. But they are all locked for 1 year. That I know. But like their investors are like Multicoin and like I'm not sure if 3 Arrows in there, but like they're literally the best of the best investors. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. They're usually pretty predatory with the top investors. All right. That's it. No Q&A today.
Actually, you want to talk about NFTs?
Oh, okay, sure. Let's bring GDA back. He might be awake now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who else is more degen than us. Like we can talk about this for so long.
Yeah, my friend. Trying to tell him I spent $10,000 on pictures the other night.
Oh.
Too hard to explain.
Party degens. I don't know if I will still have money for Parallel. There's so much stuff right now.
I have to really look at the price of party degens. Like it's probably not going to get down to an ETH, and it's probably closer to my buy range.
So much stuff.
I'm wanting to go hard into Parallel because of my guild, honestly. Like and it's honestly like a lottery. Like there's a lot of shit in there that's like you open up the pack and then like it changes your life. If you pack the Son of Mars,
literally,
like
oh my god,
you pretty much made like $300,000 like that.
Yeah, from like 1,000, right?
Yeah, from like one pack. I think less than that, like 5.
Oh wow, yeah.
600 I think is the top one or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm
just gonna be in it for the lottery and to contain my FOMO. So like when everyone starts posting, did you miss Packtober? Like I can say, no, I got a couple packs. I just wasn't lucky enough.
Yeah.
So
okay. So it's more alpha. Okay, God, now we really are dragging this thing on. Okay, so some more alpha around it is the prime keys. There's going to be more of them getting unlocked here on the 30th. I think people are speculating that there's going to be the prime fractionalization this month, and that's not the case. It's going to be in December. So I'm going to be picking up. I'm going to try to pick up a prime key for like 10 ETH around there is what I'm thinking. And that should put it at about a market cap of like 60 million for Parallel on total, fully diluted. So I want to just pick up a prime key, and then the prime key fractionalization is going to be in December. So we have like all of November to potentially try to pick one up.
What does the fractionalization do? Is it a vault of many prime keys?
It's their governance token. So when you fractionalize it, it's going to be the ERC20 token for prime. So
okay.
Yeah, right now I think so at 60. Okay, so at $60,000 market cap, I know it's. I mean, at $60,000 per prime key, it's 9 $90 million market cap. So I think
How many
that's
prime keys are there? 1.5K total.
yeah. So that's the fully diluted market cap that I just gave you. Is 90 million.
Yeah,
market
yeah,
cap.
no, 90 million. Yeah.
So
Is that the only token that will have ERC20 wise?
there's other assets, like there's the Galaxy key and stuff,
Yeah.
but this is the only one that's getting fractionalized. So I think this is going to have pretty good price discovery when it happens, right? Right now,
I did not know there's so much. Okay, yeah, so that's clear math. That's good.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah, no, that's my weakest suit, so I'm glad I'm getting your backing on that.
Oh,
Math.
oh man.
But yeah, this is like something that I'm like, I think this is clearly wrong. It says people don't have enough liquidity to be buying this.
Yeah.
To be buying these up is what I'm thinking. So I'm kind of just trying to wait for these, this hype period to die down, which I think is going to happen over November. Because I think this game is still going to be like, it's going to probably come out like a year from now or something. Like it's going to be a while till this game comes out. I've been watching listening to the podcasts, and that's kind of what they've, one of the jokes that they said. So nothing confirmed yet, but they made a joke about the game coming out a year from now potentially. So,
I'd say if you start sending offers here at 10, people will accept.
Yeah. So me and man, I forget his name right now. Mako. He's someone else in our community. He was saying that a couple of these sold for 7, or one of these sold for 7.
Yeah, people will capitulate. Like just knowing NFTs, like it's just you can low bid. When is the fractionalization? Like in November at least?
December. So it's not coming this month. I'm going to wait it out, and I'm going to be betting on the packs right now rather than the key, because this is too much liquidity for me. When I could probably double it by December, and I don't think these are going to double in price by December.
Yeah.
So
pack and then prime key. Cool.
Pack and then prime key in November, and then wait for news on prime key fractionalization. And I think this is going to get fucking sent, because like not all of them are going to get
5x. Maybe by that time, market's already so big that
I think 5x. Like if this got fractionalized now,
5x is pretty simple. Yeah, pretty easy.
Yeah, this is like one of the big things I'm watching right now. It's just like you have to throw in a huge, $60,000. So it's like it's not ideal, or I guess $40,000. I guess if you're doing 10 ETH, but
I would not do that. Yeah, because you don't know if that's going to necessarily happen. For sure, like when, and it's not so liquid if you want to sell this.
Are you saying you're not going to be betting on this?
No, I would say like if you're worried about the liquidity, definitely not.
Oh yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
After my spell play, I no worries about the liquidity.
Liquid plays are always way better. Okay, yeah. So I know how to do this now. Thank you for the straight up alpha. This is very clear. After packs, I'll get some of this. Yeah, let's end it there. I'm starving.
Yeah, me too.
There's so much alpha in this. I hope like someone can be reaping benefits of this, and we're very, very passionate here. It's kind of long though, so but it's good for me. I have a clear distribution of what I want to put money in now. Dot, multi-chain, UX, DeFi 2.0 stuff, Packtoberfest, prime key after, dot crowd loans. We're good.
It's almost hard to have a red portfolio by December, I think.
Yeah, I really hope Bitcoin doesn't hit like 200K this year. That would really fuck shit up. I really hope it stops at like 100 and then just like let's chill, because we need time.
A slow bull run, just let everything grow and just...
Yeah, we need time. We don't want like some ETF bullshit like 200K hype and then like ETF drops, sell the news down to 100K. Like, no, please don't. Yeah, that'll be bad. It happened before with the futures, so hope not. Let's slow roll it. Let's let the alts go, and then let's let my bags slowly grow, because there's so many good plays that I see right now that please don't fuck it up, Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same way. I'm really hoping the Bitcoin dominance flips too. Pretty confident there, but
it's okay. Just like slowly go up or down, doesn't matter, but just like not like 30% growth in one day for Bitcoin. That's no, not that kind of money we cannot handle. The rest of the altcoin market is still too small. Like we're talking like 100 million. Yeah, it's gonna fuck us. Okay, all right, that's it. Let's cut it there. 3-hour stream. I don't know if we did that, but
we did like 2 hours too. Holy shit!
Oh my
we should have a
God.
podcast or something.
We should. Nobody will listen to our podcast. It would just be us like frying our own brains, and then like 5 people saying like, "Wow, this is great information," and then like half the audience being like, "You guys, can you just talk about Bitcoin?" And then yeah.
There's one.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. All right. That's about it. Thanks guys for joining. Hope it's been at least somewhat useful still. We gotta get this bread. Yeah, I think that summary is pretty good at the very end. Okay. I'll talk to you next time. I'll talk to you guys probably on tomorrow's stream. Yeah. Luke, if you need support on spell, like just hit me up. I'm still holding. We can do a recovery group.
Yeah, I've already contacted a therapist and everything. So
good.
We're gonna do.
I have really good experience in handling portfolio green and red. That's like I have a lot of experience in that, because I've seen some pretty wild swings that I kind of know how to handle it.
Yeah, I'm really good at handling the red. I'm shocked at the green. So
oh yeah,
that's why I need a therapist.
Remove it from your portfolio tracker, so like you don't know how much you're up. Like,
yeah, yes, so
it hurts you, like
that's the biggest advice that I gave in my call on Friday was just like, the less you know about the number, like how many the dollar value in your portfolio, the better.
Yeah, it's just a number. It really is just a number.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, just kind of the less. Nothing has changed. It's still trading is trading, and you're buying low, selling high, and it's just you're fighting your psychology, and that's the hardest part of it.
You need to get used to this kind of range of portfolio and size you're trading in, which takes time. If my portfolio 10x right now, I would not know what to allocate it. But like once you had some time seeing like the right amount of number you're playing with, and like that doesn't translate to real life gain or loss, as long as you're not degen, then it's fine. But you need to get used to it. It'll take some time.
Yeah. It's exactly the same experience that I experienced around when I was starting to do like 10K futures and whatnot. Like it's just like watching particularly with futures, it's really hard, and like it's really satisfying watching
another thing is like on futures, when you see P&L is such a trap. Like the P&L number is like it's meant to shake you out, that number specifically. They inflate that and like both green and red so much that like really plays into your emotions. That's why like spot is so much better. Even like spot leverage is so much better than futures leverage, because there's no P&L number. yeah, that's like
Yeah,
so,
the P&L, can really fuck you up.
it really it still fucks me to this day. Like when I see the P&L, I was like, oh, like on the regular spot, yeah, I'm down 10-15%. That's fine. On the P&L, because I'm like 2x, what? I'm down. What? Like, oh my god, no, I gotta, it's like the number is meant to fuck with you. So that's why like futures is bad. If you want leverage, just do spots, like DeFi leverage.
You just do fucking my dumbass low cap plays.
Yeah, just do dumbass low cap plays is just leverage plays anyways. So
Yeah.
actually big alpha.
Yeah, I've made a lot more money, low cap FA and even just shitcoin like than I have in futures trading.
Yeah. I've completely, last time I got liquidated like March this year, I've completely stopped doing leverage, and it has just been best decision since. Like futures, I have leverage on before, but yeah, but like futures, no. It's like the P&L is like fuck's easy.
Just the centralized exchange, how they have
It's like takes all my money. Yeah, it's like so manipulated.
they have the big banner of how much money you have, and then it just ticks down, and then it ticks up, and then it's
money. Like, fuck them. Like, even if I make the right trades, they do everything possible in the interface to swing my emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the fucking stop hunting on futures. Oh my god, it's yes, it's the worst. I've been shaken out of so many good plays. My best play, I was shaken out of. I just put the decimal in the wrong place, so I accidentally held it through a short little dip, and then it rallied like 5x. Like Avalanche's first rally. Like I had my initial I had like a spot leveraged buy-in for not a spot a futures buy-in like 10x around like $5 or something like that.
It's fucked.
Yeah, the futures trade is kind of just fucks me up definitely.
Yep. Same. I still can't handle it. It's been like 4 years. still way more stressful than spot, so just don't do it. Okay. All right, let's end it there. Good chat.
Yeah, definitely.
Good chat.
Yeah,
good chat. Good
have a good day,
group.
Dennis.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one. Let's hope market's good and we can all make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you guys. Have a good day.
All right. See you guys. See everyone.